And here we are, back in the Banner Saga 2. Let's just continue straight away with the story. I think I forgot though to mention last time that there is not really a save button, so if you made a choice, it's a final choice. You cannot just go back. The game saves automatically and does whatever it wants to then. Anyhow, here we go. When the day passes in camp, caravan consumes a day's worth of supplies and morale increases. Click the rest tent now. Actually, I would rather talk to that guy. A strangely familiar man with a spear and tattoos beckons to you. His movements are somewhat odd, almost comical. What's his name? Trigby. You wouldn't be confused by Trigby's presence if you'd spotted his journey long ago. What? The man's eye glazed over for a moment before clearing. He now acts like your old friends. I've lost it. Lost what? My desire to keep going, same as you. I still want to keep going. I understand, but we have to keep moving. So, you're staying here? I still want to keep going. Lie! You lost someone special and now feel lost. I once lost a dog. Don't compare my daughter to your dog. Trigby starts laughing maniacally as though you've told some great joke. Not your daughter. You are the dog we all miss. He laughs some more and wipes his eyes. Trigby starts singing while walking away. Yellow and blue will lie to you, lie to you, lie to you. Okay. Interesting guy. Well, apparently now the only thing to do is rest. And it always goes ahead exactly one day. And now we also can finally take a look at our heroes. Your items are shown at the bottom of the roster. Drag items onto your units to equip them. Items can only be equipped by characters of equal rank. Promote your units to equip higher rank items. Click on an item for more information. Well, that makes absolutely sense. And there are a lot of guys you have right in the beginning, and those of you who played the first part will recognize a lot of them already. So, click on the unit to view stats, promote ranks, a lot about abilities. Let's start with Trigby. Well, to learn about abilities, you click here. He has the ability of Impale. He impales a knockback 1 tile, 2 tile, 3 tiles, depending on the rank. Here you have then the defense strength, the willpower. This actually is something that is not very familiar to me now because you can change around here. Oh yeah, it's the thing itself is telling you how much you can use willpower in one turn. Makes sense, but this is new that you can switch around over here and that he has basically 2 abilities that he can use. Interesting. I need to keep that in mind. Don't know how to improve it though, probably need skill points as well. And here's your armor break. You always do a certain amount of damage on the enemy's armor. For him it's 2. So he could also exploit and divert, which would increase the puncture in this case, or the armor attack. But we are getting into that as soon as he actually can level up. So let's go for someone who can get higher. Well, the promote button, you need the renown for that, as I mentioned before. And as you can see, you need quite a lot the higher your characters are getting. So, currently we cannot promote anyone because they're already pretty high. But since we have quite some items over here, let's for sure provide our guys with some of them. This one, Trigby already has. We bought one, and I really would like to equip that. Well, it's at level 8. Probably later on somebody has to use it. We are now level 5, so nobody can equip it. What do we have here? Plus 3 strength. I'd like to give that on one of the guys with 2-handed weapons, probably him. And you're also getting into my squad. What do we have here? 1 arm per turn. I do not actually know what arm is. Armor, maybe? That's not that bad. Getting more armor every round. Let's give it to... Well, she's a ranged unit. She probably doesn't need it that much. Well, 2 armor on rest. That's basically when you are not moving. Plus 1 move, 10% dodge, strength attacks. That is something I want to give one of my units for sure. Let's give it to her and also take her in our team. We have now, I think he had range attacks as well. Don't know if that changed. We have 10% 2 times strength damage, 1 drawing aggro. 50% of dodge chance. That also somebody should have. I think I give that to Ivar. We should also fill up our group. Now I consider taking another ranged unit. He used to be very strong in the previous round, so let's give that a try like that. Hopefully you can do it. You can also adjust your turn now, so basically moves on the left will start first, the further they go to the right, later they will move. And I first want our big guys to move and then later our humans to adjust accordingly. Well, not with escape you're going back, but over here. So, basically nothing left to do. Let's go on and hopefully survive and arrive in the capital. I forgot the name of it though again. And I think, at least in my opinion, this looks beautiful. How they're moving, there's always some action, and everywhere's a little bit happening. It's really nice. Shouted orders turn several ships towards the bank. You have no choice but to call all the other vessels to a halt as well. By the time you land, the crowd has gathered by the water. So let's see what's happening. A man in fine clothes and missing a hand stands at the center of the others. He smirks as you approach. Yeah, he has lost a hand. I agree, I see that. And here he is, the fenced, self-proclaimed ruler of us all. Are you the reason for this delay? I don't answer questions from backwater scum, no matter how high they've risen in the pond. Then I'll stop asking, get back on the boats. Well, we could also attack him now, just go back. You don't know who you're talking to, do you? Oh, Rook, you might not remember when we first arrived in Borsgard, but I went with Volvak to speak with the governor. What's your point? Well, this Ruger, the governor. Ludin, the entitled Prince of Abrang who joined you in Einardorf, steps forward from the gathering crowd. The former governor of what was Borsgard, actually. Careful, Prince. Rivers are dangerous, especially this far from your papa's side. The threat caused a few gasps from the clansmen. Ludin's bodyguard, the usually quiet Val Berzi, grows, but is waved off by the young prince. The man and I were just discussing Rook's banner. It'll make a nice addition to Borsgard's. That's not going to happen. Fine, I don't really care. Doesn't Prince Ludin outrank you? Well, that's not going to happen. That's my banner. These aren't the roots of the woods anymore, Rook. You're among men now. Try to act like one. If anything, Rook's banner would join Abrang's, or are you claiming control of the entire kingdom too? I'm just trying to guide my vulnerable prince home with some dignity and proper leadership. But it was Rook who led the fight against Belova while you hid in a great hole, Governor. Overseeing a besieged town isn't hiding, Mender, just as fighting in a battle isn't necessarily leading. But Rook kept us alive across the frozen waves, he did, cries the man. Saved us at Einardorf too, woman adds. Others join in, listening your deeds and cheering your name. Then it's settled, no more delays. Rook is our official guide to Abrang, but will consult with me on major decisions. I don't want a title or a boss. Everybody, just get back on the boats. That's what we are doing. Yes, return to the ships. The helmeted guard next to Ruga makes a gesture for only the governor to see. Ruga laughs as the crowd disperses. Prince, your guide, has a lot to learn before Abrang. Well, I don't know what to make out of that, but I don't like that guy. And next day we're losing morale, we are losing supplies, and we're still fine for 8 more days. A head driftwood has collected, creating an impressive barrier for the longships. Alternatively, going ashore has its own risk from whatever might be lurking in the trees. Row hard will break through, bank ships and send all X-Men shopping. I think I carry the ships around. Yeah, let's do that, because there will be a fight and I'm very keen of showing you how the fighting works. The ships groan as they are hoisted on shoulders and marched across land. Navigating through the riverside brush takes time, but everyone pulls through unscattered. As the ships push off once again, dredge appear on the bank, a silent reminder of the constant threat. Morale improved, that's nice. And morale declined because of the next day. The X-Men and Val pull away from the task to join the fight. Several die in the extended battle as Blunted X failed to kill swiftly. Eventually the dredge retreat and the river is cleared. So we lost a few clansmen and fighter. But I think we made a good plan. Oh, we went... Yeah, it was a good choice though. Chopping the thingies ahead might have cost us more time or even killed more guys by just falling over. Well, Ivar is something. We might make it down this river to the capital without any more trouble. Look at Ivar, surprised by his optimism. And I might sprout wings and start flying. Would that make up for your missing arm? Hey, I get to make jokes about losing my arm, not you. I suppose that's fair. So what are you worried about now? I think you should make use of this trainer and this tent that we haul around everywhere. You've led fighters in battle before, but there's always more to learn. So let's back the ships and challenge your skills a bit. So it's going to be a little bit of test fighting. We could also first speak to him, and this is what I'm going to do. As always, first talking, then fighting. You watch for a moment as Avind, Yuna's apprentice and Amanda, found nearly dead at the caravan, moves his staff in a complex pattern, repairing some armor. Not a bad festival trick, right? I've seen worse. And I've seen better, like years back in Borskat with stopping Belova. For all the good I did, we've saved quite a few, didn't we? Actually, I don't want to talk about it. Well, saved quite a few, didn't we? Indeed, and everybody knows how much it cost you. No one expects you to get over it anytime soon. Are you about to tell me it was for the greater good? But they expect me to lead like Alet didn't die. What? But they expect me to lead like Alet didn't die. Yeah, exactly. It might sound cold, but the two things, grief and duty, can be separated. You sound like you've experienced. More like plenty of mistakes to look back on, part of becoming a mender. Can you talk more about becoming a mender? Any advice on separating the two? Focus on what you have to do at all times. When you're not focused on guiding the caravan to safety, focus on forgiving yourself. He notices your silence. Rook, without you, these people won't make it. They must survive. But what's important about these people? None of us knows what's coming. These people are the only ones we know we can save right now. It's that simple. Avind picks up the repaired armor, hitting it with the staff to test it. I'm glad we could talk, but I need to check out the fighter who was wearing this. Well, thank you for your advice. And now, a little bit of training. Well, come on in and let's have a look at you. Sven, the trainer, says. After a quick assessment, he says, yep, looks like a good stand to learn a few things. So, I've got 5 challenges for you, and if you can finish them all before we get to Arbok, well, I'll let everyone know you've impressed me. Sven's laughter is full of flame. Let's start with a few of the basics. And think about what he's saying. You feel up to the challenge? Yeah, sure. Then we begin. Okay, let's begin. Whom are we fighting with? And whom are we fighting against? Here we go. 2, 4, 5 regular dudes and 4 of ours. Click an objective mark to see detailed destruction. Form shield wall. Who's my raider then? Probably that guy. Are you my raider? Yes, he is. Kill an enemy using puncture. My archer can use that. Use heavy impact to damage 3 enemies at once. So basically that is when these 3 guys are standing next to each other and the damage springs over towards them. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, let's start. Okay, let's see how that works. I actually would like to walk a different way. How can I remove their movements? Like that. I want to walk like that, so I'm in front of them, and normally I would like to make the shield wall now. And turn. So these guys can attack from a further distance with their thingies there, with their spears. And also diagonal. Well, let's have a little bit of fun over here. I need 3 of them together though. And she needs to kill somebody with puncture. Puncture is... well, something I don't have. Could use the bird of prey. Oh, why not? Let's go ahead with that one. This guy should already be pretty low at health. That's not good. I don't like that. Take his armor away. Probably not necessary because Hakon should knock them out anyhow. You go and have some fun with them. And Hakon, since they're now standing all together, should be able to make damage on all of them. That should be fine. Nope. Only works if he's really adjacent to him. Well, know that for next time. Now we won't make that one though. Nice puncture. Well, too far away. But we should be able to make the bird of prey. But I could also read now here what puncture actually is. So if I'm not moving into a regular attack and they've lost already armor, we could kill enemies with that. Okay, we've learned that lesson basically. We are not succeeding with it in this round though. Takes armor away. Hakon will just knock one out after another. I mean, this is something that should not happen, that you lose so many guys. Having guys injured is not a good thing. Well, we managed to win this round, but of course did not succeed over here. I want to try that again though. No reno. That's okay. That was our first fight, so basically you've seen how everything, well, not everything, how some of it works. And yeah, I would like to try that again. What can you show me? Try to keep up. Up, up. That's what we had before. Yes, I'm ready. Then we begin. Again. It's interesting if you can gain some renown through these fights and these additional tasks. That is something you could not do beforehand. Well, you can't move anyone around, so. Form a shield wall. We managed to do that before. There we go. You fall back a little, I think. No, stay right here. We need to get 3 of them standing right next to each other. And I need to look a little bit on how the puncture really works. Don't move here. Don't attack him. Now we have 2. At least if this guy moves over there, he should be able to attack 3. So the puncture, how does that work? The bonus damage to targets who have lost armor if the archer has not moved. We have not moved. We are doing damage like that. He didn't take any kind of extra damage though. I'm a little bit confused. And these guys can attack diagonally. I have to attack like that. That's not what I want. I want him one step closer. Take away his strength. And we deflect it for some reason. If I fall back 1, he needs to get 1 closer. That still does make them stay next to each other. Could move over here. I think that's giving us a proper chance for him to move somewhere around here. So now I have no idea how that deflects, how that puncture actually works. I have to learn that now. For sure I want to do 3 damage on him, so... Oh no, not only 2. Of course, these three dudes are standing now right next to each other. Move over here. A little bit of damage. This guy is standing in a position that I can't move over here where I wanted to go. Sort that problem out. Okay, let's try to understand it. Puncture. Bonus damage to targets who have lost armor if the archer has not moved. He's the only one who lost armor. I don't want to kill him. It's interesting. I have to admit, I do not really understand how puncture is supposed to work. These guys are just getting annoying because they are basically not standing in a way for us to hit them all. Also, Hakon is getting low on health. You know, I'm just going to finish this fight now, and then I will continue with the story. I have to learn first how this puncture actually does work. Let's knock these guys out. It's also not always the best idea to kill everybody. Sometimes it's a pretty good idea to keep them a little bit alive on low health, on long strength, so they can't really do that much damage. And yeah, just keep on destroying the other guys that are running around with whatever you have available. Did that make any kind of sense? I don't know. So now it's getting interesting, because we are going to lose that one. Well, it was a test fight anyhow, so it doesn't matter. And training. Well. Shield wall again, we manage. Puncture and heavy impact knockdown. That's okay. Anyhow, we continue with the fighting. We will be back and we will finish these tests for sure at some point. Well. Oh well, that's okay. Let's go ahead, because I don't want to waste too many supplies to rest just to keep our morale a little bit higher. And also I want to gain renown to level up our guys. Clansman forage, plus 29. You look at all the food freshly placed in the supply carts. What's all this about? You ask out loud. Clansmen are trying to help us as much as possible now, she says. Whenever they can, they forage for nuts and berries, or fish and nuts. She hands you a piece of fruit. They may not know how to fight, but they can keep us alive by keeping us fed. Well, I like it if they do that. I'm very much fond of that. I actually gave us supplies for 2 more days. Was it 1 more? I think 2 more days, yeah. A desperate looking lot of adults and a Val stand on shoreline waving you down. You probably look similar going anywhere with either. They look hungry, but can they be trusted? The supplies to them as you pass, but don't stop. So the boats and us their needs. I'm kind, man. The basics, the Val says. Food, safety, trade routes are empty. The 24 humans half look like they've been like they've seen battle. Here's food. You'll have to find safety elsewhere. Come aboard, you'll have food and safety. Well, yeah, come aboard. I think I need more guys anyhow. Everyone carefully files onto a couple of the less burdened ships and starts eating. Philip, the Val says, which you take as his name and as his appreciation. And everybody liked it. And there was not that many, and for getting another guy in, I think that was worth it. Also, I don't think they were dangerous to us. The crowd begins to cheer from one of the longships as the man struggles with his fishing net. As his catch nears the surface, some voice concerns, "You're close enough to make out a large shape and what looks like fur or hair in the net. Fire an arrow into the mess. Keep watching as the man hauls it out." Ah, interesting. I keep watching. "Bear cub," shouts the man with the net. "Long dead. What's it mean?" Superstitions blow across the ship like a gale. Talk of plagues and famine make eyes go wide. You notice Ballback at the bow of the ship, staring at the cup and brooding more than usual. Okay. Okay. Our morale dropped quite a lot by that, and also by another day passing by. Maybe I just should have shot it. Or just dropped it in again. Well, you never know. Shots from one of the rare longships grabbed everyone's attention. The quick construction is proving faulty and the ship is taking on water fast. With the dredge on the bank and all other ships almost at capacity, you consider your options. Banking. Board the ships, dump supplies, ask shipwrights for advice. Yeah, I'll do that. "You need her out of the water," says one. "Nonsense, just plug the holes with some cloth and tar for now," says another. As they argue, clansmen begin jumping from a sinking vessel, grabbing for ropes and extended oars. Most make it aboard other ships, but not all. Well, that was crappy. How can a ship sink that fast while they're just discussing a little bit? Didn't expect that to happen. In a small village, smoke from a village catches everyone's attention, and the longships begin to slow. I doubt these scraps of wood we're floating on can hold many more. Ivar says. You feel the governor's gaze on you, and he slowly shakes his head. "We'll help as many as we can. They might resupply us for our trouble. You want me to turn my back on them? Ignore the village and head downriver. We'll help as many as we can. I want to have everybody safe at the end." When ships land, you and a few others rush towards the smoke, but the closer you get, the stranger the situation. There's no sound of battle or people panicking to put out fires. "Keep going," Ballback growls. "We'll see what the dead are carrying. The Wild's command defies tradition, but so do many things about him. Push on to the village to investigate." "Yeah, sure." The barn is the only thing burning. No one is around. Unusual, Oddlife says. "Some kind of trick?" "Feels that way. Let's get back?" "No." "Not sure, but let's look for supplies while we're here." Yeah, maybe the fire trapped someone else. While everyone looks for buckets and water, some Val carry full yokes through douse the barn. The door and front wall are soon smoking charred remains, easily kicked open. Unfortunately, there's nothing of note inside. After a slow trudge back to the others, Saga stands aboard the ship, shaking his head. "Some thieving bandits ambushed us and took off in the supply ship. But you were on your do-good mission," he says. "You'll be even more crowded now. Glad you're at the helm." "Well, we have 287 fighters. We didn't rush with everybody, and how can that happen?" "Stupid. I'm thinking this guy is onto something. He's just annoying us. And he's sabotaging us. I'm almost certain about it." A large clump of hazelnut trees looks like a good place for clansmen to stretch their legs and gather supplies. Once on land, the children laugh while kicking around leather-wrapped balls of rags. You notice a Val on the edge of the clearing silently staring into the woods. It's watching a lone dredge grunt stalk a squirrel. Might be 100 of them in these woods. This Val whispers it's still loud enough to scare the squirrel and alert the grunt. He looks at you and the Val before slowly backing up. Can a ship kill it before? Watch the dredge, track if it's possible. Well, I'm tracking it because I want to knock the others out. The grunt runs away, silently followed, but stop when you discover a clearing with a few small animal bones laying about. Meager meals for one. Near the bones stand a tiny statue of a dragon and a terror quest down his spine. You want to get away from it. I want that statue. Each step towards the statue adds to your doubt until your hand wraps around it. You realize you've been holding your breath and sigh with relief. Back on the ship, the clansmen discuss your whole experience along with all the nuts they collected. Smiles appear on most faces. That's good. I like it. I got a new item. And Reno. Wow. I'm very curious about the item, I have to admit.
On a vacant island. Aselai's godstone almost looks lonely.
Yeah, it's also something that happened in the first part. You always came about these stones of the gods, which tells a little bit of the story and everything around. Also always gives a little bit of an action. She's even more beautiful than the song say. I like it very much that they actually can recognize the guys that are walking around here. We have Iva, and if I would remember all the names, these are our fighters in front that we can choose from. Here we can see face, and it's really a person basically. Very nice, beautiful. The clansmen and Val are admiring the godstone when he notices someone missing. It's Bolvik and his ravens, Alia says. They look rather upset by my music and all the singing. He shrugs. If they'd rather hang around the large cart instead of joining us, I won't take it personally. But come closer, let me introduce you to Azelay, the god of streaming waters. She's the curves of every river, a guide for those of us traveling on unfamiliar lands. The Skald runs a finger over small etchings in stone, inscriptions from all those who were lost, but found a way back home with her help. I think I would search for stuff around. We spent a fair amount of time looking at all the baubles. Baubles? Left by other visitors, but nothing strikes you as valuable. As you return with the to the pitched camp, Elia pulls you aside. We all have our strength and minor stories that may very well benefit us all in these troubled times, he says. They are at least worth a listen. He doesn't sound upset, it's a simple request. Okay, calm down. Well, we get obviously also renowned for reaching these stones. Well, this is just an explanation how fighters of Val are protecting our clans from everything around there. Let's talk to, what's his name? Hakon, I think it was. The two Val look deep in conversation, but Ivar catches your eye and waves you over. So they've all armed themselves and are running from something, but what? Hakon's becoming a dredge scholar, trying to understand the motivations of our enemy. Just strange that we've never seen their women fight until recently. Good thing too, we might have lost the Great Wars. But think about what you say. What happened back then? Juno says there's darkness coming. Has anyone ever talked to Dredge? Both Val look at each other. There are rumors that some have tried and been killed in the process. A lot of nonsense. Skull tales about the sound of Dredge's voice making your skin fall off. So there's been no communication with the enemy. Is that normal? We are too busy killing to worry about a fireside chat. Besides, they only ever make warping sounds. I'd guess if anyone has talked to them, it'd be Valka. But good luck getting them to give you a straight answer. You think about what to say. What happened back then? Gunnar says, I'll figure out big issues. What happened back then? A great deal of killing on both sides. Imagine waking up to dredge attacks every night. Back then the sun actually set. You'd wake up to sound and see nothing but glowing eyes around you. Ingvar probably told you we never got close to pushing them back to the depths they called home. Actually, Ivar's never said much about the past. Oh? Ivar says nothing, just holds Hakon stare. Well, he's probably got more stories than he could hear in a short lifetime. Juno says there's darkness coming. But Valka says, and mean aren't always the same. They speak in riddles and prophecy. Still, we might explain why the dredge are everywhere, like someone kicked an ant in. Maybe whatever's coming hit them first. Or maybe it's just a new tactic for a new war. If they've learned to crack the ground and caught a giant serpent, then we're all dead and just don't know it yet. Well, I think I'll leave you guys alone. You should know the clansmen have been talking about us killing women and children, dredge or not. It's not sitting well with everyone, which is probably the way it should be. I say, if it's us or them, we make sure we are still standing. I'm bothered more by your decision to destroy Anatov's bridge. Let it go, Hakon, it was the best decision at the time. To collapse a bridge that cost thousands of our lives to build. If it weren't for your damn horns, Ingvar, I'd swear you were an overgrown human. The two giants begin trading insults and you step away, letting them vent. That was a referral to the previous Banner Saga, the first one. So, this one we read. It's about to keep enough trained fighters available, but human mighty fighters consume more supplies than clansmen and are less effective at foraging. Speak to Sven and train to start some of your clansmen as battle-ready fighters. Actually, that's new. You could have done that as well. How do we do it? The train looks past. We need protection. The train looks past you at some boys and girls eager to learn, teaching fighting to the young. Sven uses. They won't go back to hunting and foraging for food, you know. Sure you want to go through with this? Yeah, we need protection. Sven blows out all his air through flapping lips. Then let's get it done. How many you want fighting for you? Let's get 100 in for now. We've got enough food and water to last us a day and a half. Well, yeah, let's take that. Consider done. So basically we have to wait here. So now we get into the promotion part as well. And here the renown comes in, as I mentioned before already. You can promote people that have a certain amount of kills. We need here with Rook, for example, 11. We have now 13, and we can promote him. And with that, we need the renown. Well, here's 13 standing. We have 12. I'm pretty certain that it's not going to work. The only thing we could learn is to call 2 arms. There we go, as I suggested. Who else do we have? Yeah, it looks like all of them need, at the moment, 13. Except for Vallejo. Let's go with him then. Higher stats and talents, increase your item rank. Let's go with it. Spend our renown. And then you always get points that you can spend on your various items over here. I have no idea if he's a close combat fighter or whatever he is. But I'll take this one as an item. And I think his willpower is going to be pretty important. Let's go with on strength. Strength is something I always like on our guys. So, that was it already, our renown, and you can see already, you really have to balance if you want to spend it on food, if you want to spend it on your army, or whatever you want to spend it on. And for this round, time's up already again, and still we have not seen a proper fight, except of this little bit of training, which I failed miserably. Anyhow, I'm certain soon the battles will start, and I'm really looking forward to it, to try out a few things and see finally difference in fighting, next to the barriers that you could see in the small intro. So, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you the next time in the Banner Saga 2, when we are about to survive the darkness coming. Bye for now.